Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm back for another terrific Tuesday video. Today I would like to share with you a really quick and simple technique referred to as the Eclipse Technique. Now this technique is very simple, very easy duplicatable. You can see the word wish popped right out of this card. Isn't it look cool? So it's a really neat, fun technique, and one that you can incorporate in many different things. You could make a card and pop out the word love. You could make a home decor piece that you frame where you pop out someone's name for their room. So I'm going to share with you how I did this technique and how I made this card with you today. The stamp set of choice that I used is the Dandelion Wishes. Now this is a stamp set that is really popular right now. Everyone seems to just love this Dandelion Wishes. And so I used the greeting on the bottom that says, I made a wish and you came true, which is why I chose to use the word wish to pop up on this card. Now this stamp set is $20 and US dollars, and it is for the clear mount stamp set. And I love it. Definitely one that you could put into your collection as well. Now, if you haven't joined my mailing list yet, I encourage you to do so at kimsbasementbunch.com. I do free tutorials on Friday. I also do Facebook Lives every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go to Facebook and search for Kim Vogel's Basement Bunch Stampers, and please join my group. I'd love to see you over there as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to share with you how I made this card. I started with a piece of basic black cardstock. Now this is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4, and you're just going to simply fold this over, and this becomes the card base for our card today. I then have two different pieces of cardstock that I've cut out. The Berry Burst is cut 5 1/4 by 4, and my Whisper White is cut 5 by 3 3/4. Now this is the piece that we're going to do some of the stamping on. So we're going to go ahead and stamp some of the greetings and the images from that stamp set that I showed you. I'm using the Memento Black ink. And so the first thing I'm going to stamp on this is this great big dandelion shape. So let me get this inked up really good. And I stamped that over here on this side. And then what I did is I stamped on the very bottom the greeting, I made a wish and you came true. So let me get this inked up, and we're going to stamp that here on the bottom. And then there's an image where it looks like you've actually blown some of the dandelions, the little parts of the dandelion is like blowing out of it. And so I'm going to have those look like they're coming down out of those dandelions there. So I'm just going to stamp one right here and another one right here. Okay, and then what I did is, using the Berry Burst ink, I wanted to incorporate a little bit of color into this card. So what I did is, using the Berry Burst ink and one of our sponge daubers, I went ahead and I inked the centers of these little dandelions, just to add a little bit of color. Now you're going to want to make sure that your black is good and dry. I'm probably doing this a little bit sooner than I should be. And then I also wanted to add a little bit of color over here. And what you're going to want to do though is make sure that you take out some of the ink on your sponge dauber. So I just went over and did it on some white paper, because I only want this to be a real little bit of color to this. Okay, so kind of like that. And then what you're going to do, and I actually did this in advance, but I'm going to show you what you do. You would take this over to the Big Shot, and this is where you would definitely want to use a magnetic platform. So what I did is I used our large letters. Now these framelets are still in our catalog. They're $99, but it's an amazing investment. In this set, you get all of the alphabet, and you get some additional little designs there as well, but you get all of the alphabet. And I chose out the word wish. And what you're going to do is you're just going to line this up onto your Big Shot. And again, this is where the magnetic platform is going to come into play, because this does fit together very, very tightly. And again, you're going to want to line these up. Whoops. If I knew how to spell wish, I'm doing it as the wrong word. So you're going to line these up like so. And now they're pretty close together, but that's okay, because the cut line is the inside part of these framelets. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is what it looks like after I ran that through the Big Shot. So pretend I ran that through the Big Shot, and I'm gonna have it look like this. Let me put this behind it so you can see. So it actually cut out those letters for the word wish. And so we're gonna put this one away and pretend that I did that one, and bring this one in that I've done in advance. So now I have it looking like this. Okay, and then next what I did is I adhered this piece down to my piece of Berry Burst. So let me add a little bit of adhesive here, and we're going to get that secured down. And then I wanted to add a little bit of ribbon to this. So when I did this, I made sure my wish was down a little ways so that I can incorporate some of this Whisper White tulle. I love this ribbon, and I feel like it adds just a little bit extra to this card. So I'm going to cut enough off. I'm going to bring in my glue dots. And most of you who have watched my videos in the past know that this is the way in which I do all of my ribbon. I cut enough just to go around the outer corners, and I adhere it to the back of my card like so, because you really don't need to go all the way around on that. And then I'm going to cut off another little piece, and I'm going to adhere this or tie this on, so I go underneath there, and I'm just going to tie this on to my card like so, and tie it in a knot there. And then I'm just going to trim this off. I know you guys are seeing my arm there, and I apologize. And then what you're going to do is the letters that you've cut out, now you could also leave the card just like that if you wanted to, and adhere it like that to the front of the card. Now that would not be the Eclipse Technique, but look how pretty that is as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the letters that I cut out. So these are the wish letters that I've cut out. So there's your W, let me get them in the right way, your W and your I and your S and H, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to use our real mini dimensionals. Now, if you haven't added these mini dimensionals to your collection yet, you're going to want to do that. These mini dimensionals, I'm not sure if you can see how tiny they are as compared to our large dimensionals, but they are really, really small, and they're great for more of your little intricate things. And because these are not very wide, these little dimensionals are perfect for incorporating these in. Now, I'm not going to actually take the time on the video today to do all of these, but I wanted to show you how quick and simple it is to add those dimensionals to the back. And then you just simply take off those backings, and you want to make sure you line this up, because that's not going to go the right way. You want to make sure you kind of line it back up with the image and how it's supposed to look, and you're just going to dimensional that back in. And you're going to do that for all of those letters, and you have a beautiful card that looks like that. Isn't that just gorgeous? So this technique is called the Eclipse Technique. I hope you give it a try, and I'd love to see what you create with it. And again, if you are interested in getting any of the supplies for this card, they're all in the description of my video today. Also, I will link directly to my online store for you to purchase your own Dandelion Wishes and any other supplies that you might need to make this card. So thank you very much for stopping today, and I look forward to seeing you all back here next Tuesday. Have a great day.